Hey guys, welcome back. This is week 23 Project Life, and today I'm going to use a bunch of Pinkfresh Studio stuff. I picked up some new things. I know, supposed to be saving money. Couldn't help myself, had to grab these few things. I've got a few bits and pieces, not whole collections or anything like that. I've got a 6x6 pad, a couple of packs of die cuts, some puffy stickers, and some alphas. They are from the Keeping It Real and the Some Days collection. They're different collections, but I thought they kind of worked quite nicely together. They've got similar themes, and it works well for my kind of documenting. So that's what I'm working with. Got my photos printed out, and I'm just starting by picking out some of those 6x6 papers. I knew that I had to, like literally had to use that rainbow paper this week, so I'm kind of basing the rest of it off that. There's quite a few sort of blues in my photos, and I don't have a blue in that rainbow, so I'm going to work on kind of adding a few other little blue touches in here just to kind of tie that all together. But for now, I've picked out a very light minty green pattern and that sort of very light blue pattern that ties in really nicely with the sky. I'm going to shuffle that round a little bit though, because I do want to add some journaling. So I've just grabbed like a blank journaling card from scrapbook.com. It's just a lined one, and I'll do my typing on there. So my next step is to go through these die cut packs, and like this is the first time that I've opened them, and I've got 2 packs. So I've sped this up considerably because it does take me a little bit of time to go through here, and effectively all I'm doing is just pulling out ones that I think I might use. I'm not like confirming anything yet. It really is, and I do this with just about like any branded die pack. I just go through like a really quick, fast sweep. So I'm not making any like major decisions. I'm just pulling out ones basically that I'm Marie Kondoing it. I'm picking out the ones that bring me joy, and the rest are going in the not today pile. So no major decisions, just pulling them out, placing them where I think maybe they could go. Like I say, not making any major decisions. And then once I've gone through the bulk of that pack and I've pulled out the ones that I think I might use, that's when I go down and start making more definitive decisions about what I'm going to use and where. And of course I've still got puffy stickers to go as well, so I'm not, like I say, not deciding which ones to use. I did pull out that one pink sort of quite large journaling piece there. I figured I would add a little bit of extra journaling onto there if I can get it through my typewriter. So I did spend a bit of time pulling apart my vintage typewriter and trying to sort of clean it up and seeing if I could see why it was like behaving so badly lately. And it's a little bit better, but I mean, it's old. I know how it feels. It's a bit crotchety. So I did manage to get both the journaling card and this tiny little pink piece through that typewriter. Generally what I do on smaller pieces like that is adhere it to a piece of scrap paper, just so that my typewriter has a little bit more to grab onto, because that is quite a small piece. So it did have a little bit of adhesive on the back of it, but I knew I was going to adhere it down onto this card anyway. So the journaling relates specifically to that photo, and then I'm adding a couple of little die cuts on there. I'm going to add quite a few of that darker teal color that's in, it's not the exact same color because obviously there's 2 collections, but it's in that rainbow card at the top. So that's really what I'm attempting to do, is add a few more of those kind of rainbow colors into this paler, the rest of the spread is quite pale, so I'm trying to add some of those darker colors in there just to kind of tie it all together a little bit more, and it just achieves a little bit more balance, I guess, because the rainbow card for the title card there is a little bit on the heavier side. Now I started going through this puffy stickers, and there's one I really wanted to use, but I thought it would work perfectly layered with one of the die cuts. So I did go back through the pack to find the die cut that says Monday, and then I'm going to just stick that at the top. So I did swap the position of the photo. I usually have these little sort of 2 1/4-ish photos at the top of those cards, but I did move it down just a little bit so that I could balance in that sticker and die cut. Now this photo here, inadvertently I decided that this ends up being kind of the recipe that I use for the rest of the photos, so I'm stacking a couple of die cuts. I did pick out more than one with the intention I was really only going to use one, but I liked both of them and they kind of worked nicely together, again, like I say, to kind of add in a bit of that colour. So I stacked them together and then added a puffy sticker in the pale blue, trying to pull in more of that pale blue throughout here, and that's what I go with. Now, when I typed out my journaling, I had sort of intended to add that today puffy sticker at the top, but I just didn't quite get the journaling centered or, you know, sort of far enough down. So there's this kind of weird large gap at the bottom, especially when I fill in the top with the puffy sticker. So I'm going to add just a little strip of pattern paper down the bottom. In the end, I go again for that sort of teal colored, it's a little bit darker than the pattern that I've used at the bottom. So I'm going to use just a little strip of that. I'm just eyeballing it against the lines that are on the journaling card, and then I'm going to trim it out with my scissors. But it fills in that gap, and I quite like that it adds a little bit of extra color onto that very white card. Again, trying to find ways to balance the darker color of my title card against the rest of the spread. So here I go with the inadvertent recipe. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Again, I had picked out 2 die cuts, but now that I've layered 2, I feel totally free to layer another 2. And I'm going to do the same sort of thing, just not with die cuts up here. So I had picked out this today die cut. It's a little bit different to the other ones, but it does have that sort of banner strip through the bottom of it. So what I'm going to do is add another strip like I've been doing with the rest of my photos there, but this time it is a puffy sticker. I mean, you can barely tell the difference. It looks the same. It's the same visual recipe anyway. So my title card here, I had pulled out these 3 labels. I wasn't really intending to use 3. I was really only going to use the 1. But those were the 3 colors that I had kind of picked out. But I loved the way they were kind of clustered together. So I'm actually going to use 3 labels. I'm going to cluster them almost exactly the way that they were when I just kind of randomly threw them on there. I really did want to use that light blue one, again, to pull the blue into that title card. And then the other 3, the other 2 are just going to add a couple of those other colors that I've used throughout there. There are a few pops of red in there. And it just brings all of the colors that I've used into that title card and ties them all together. So the longer label is definitely long enough to add my 2 date stamps in here, so I can pop them on. And I would usually draw in my little heart, but I'm going to use one of these puffy stickers because they're super cute, and it, again, gets a little bit more of that color in there. And then for my actual title, I am going to use these alphas. They're my favorite. I love them. They're so cute and little. I love that you get a variety of colors, although the reality is most often I do what I'm going to do today, which is use all of the same colors. So I got lucky that there are all of the letters for the word week in red, so I'm going to add all of those in here. There are numbers on this sheet, and I'll be honest, I was working on the assumption that this was week 22 and I couldn't get a 22 in the same colors, so I went back into my stash and grabbed my foam alphas from Citrus Twist in these yellow ones. I love the yellow, and then as I'm putting the numbers down, I realized, oh, I didn't need 22, I needed 23. It's week 23. So I probably could have used the Pinkfresh alphas, but I'm quite happy with the yellow. I like the yellow contrast, again, adding a little bit more color in there. And then I've got really only one photo that I haven't done anything with, and usually I don't sort of mind having a photo with nothing on it, but it kind of looked a bit odd that it was undecorated. So there was a die cut sitting on the top that said right now. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to do my sort of same recipe, but again with the puffy sticker that says documented. It's a little bit of a different shape, but it's got the same general theme, and I get that red and that blue in there, and then I call this week all done. I gotta say, as much as I've been loving stash diving lately, it was a very nice treat to play with some new things today. I will link anything I've used down in the description box for you. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.